one of the hardest news, and one thing that I never thought could happen, is that immigrants will be stripped of their freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is a constitutional right for everybody that is inside the United States. However, nowadays we've been told by the government that they are overseeing what immigrants are posting in social media, how they are acting, what are they saying. And we understand that if any of that information incites violence or terrorism, it could be used against immigrants. Well, there are different types of immigrants. There are immigrants who are legal permanent residents and people who have visas to work, to invest, to be in that, to tourist visas, student visas, and there are people who are undocumented in the United States. And the people who are undocumented in the United States may have an employment authorization because they have some type of protection under the law, or maybe very, very undocumented and they don't have anything. Well, the government and the courts the government has decided to strip the right of freedom of speech of all immigrants and use whatever information they can from the expressions of the immigrants to use them against them and revoke visas and strip people from whatever status they have if that information, the information that the immigrants provided, it's against the government interests. And you probably may think, okay, that's great. If there are terrorists and they post information about it or they incite violence, let's get rid of them. Well, it's not like that, because one thing is what you can express, what you can say. Another thing is what you can do, right? So if you do an act of violence, if you commit a crime, in fact, immigrants should be deported. They should be punished. But when you don't commit any crime, when you have not been convicted of any crime, I don't think immigrants should be stripped of their right to express feelings, how they think, how they feel about something. And that's exactly what is going on in the case of Mahmoud Khalil, an immigrant who was a student, who now it's a legal permanent resident, and a judge on Friday decided that he can be deported because he expressed his political opinion against the war between Syria and Palestine. And the government told a judge that they are going to revoke Khalil's green card and deport him because his political opinions go against the political opinion of the government. And that it's effectively stripping him from their right to express his opinions. And if you think that that's right, that they should do something like that, the biggest problem is not that you do something like that. The problem is that today immigrants are not able to express anymore what they think, but tomorrow it'll be the American citizens, no doubt. So what I can tell all the immigrants right now that are watching this program is, under no circumstance, any immigrant with papers or without papers is able anymore to express their political opinions, national opinion, national politics, or international politics. From now on, if you are in the United States and you want to preserve whatever status you have and you don't want to get in trouble with the government, please do not express any opinion, at least not until we figure out how to recover our right to free speech. And in the meantime, anything that you post about any type of politics, foreign or national politics, will be used against you. So please be very, very, very careful about it. No joke. If they were able to strip a legal permanent resident of their green card, they can do it to anybody with any other type of visa. So please, please do not post anything anymore about politics in any way, shape, or form, because the government may use the information against you.